Hey everybody, Jesse here from Off The Hook Kiteboarding, and today we're going to be ranking the 4 services that we offer: kiteboarding, wing foiling, e-foiling, and subfoiling, from most accessible to most challenging. Now, these are just patterns that we've noticed over the past 13 years of operating with working with a lot of people. Some people may pick up these sports a little bit faster, some people may take a little bit more time to start to figure these out, and that's totally okay. This is just a general guide to help you decide which service you would like to choose when you're looking at what we have to offer. So let's kick it off. Starting off, we have e-foiling. Now, e-foiling is by far the most accessible of all 4 services that we have to offer. E-foiling, because you have power right at your fingertips and not having to worry about outside variables such as wind and waves, becomes a much more accessible and digestible way to hop into the foiling. So we recommend this for people who are getting into wing foiling maybe and they haven't had much time on a foil, or maybe you're just in town for a short period of time and you want to jump in the water right away without doing a multi-day package. Great option for those also who just want to have some fun out in the water right away. Next up, we have kiteboarding. Now this one's right in the name. We've done this one for a long time. We know it really well. Kiteboarding is a great sport for those who are looking for a bit of a challenge, but it's got a lot of fun milestones along the way. Because kiteboarding challenges you both mentally and physically, you can break it up into small segments that you can work on individually on the sand and in the water to keep you coming back and to keep that dopamine rush running, because it is so fun to come out every time and get something new out of it. And what you'll notice is that that progression really starts to ramp up every time you come out, picking up something new, and it's just going to make that learning curve accelerate as you go through it. We recommend this for people who are coming out for maybe a few days, or if you live local here and you want to dive into a new sport, from surfing to maybe a wind sport, kiteboarding is a great option. It's a lot of fun. It comes with a great community here in Belmont Shore. All right, upping the challenge a little bit more, we have wing foiling. Now, wing foiling is the biggest one right now. It's blowing up like crazy, especially with parowinging, which we'll get to here in a moment. But wing foiling is something that is going to be a bit of a slower progression. It requires a bit more patience, and it doesn't have as many of those little mini milestones along the way that kiteboarding has. There's longer periods of time of developing muscle memory and balance that just comes with a lot of practice. But because this one takes a bit longer, it does have a bigger payoff. The other thing too is it takes up a smaller footprint, so people like this one because of the safety aspect. You're not having to worry about having a large space like you would with kites. Now, this sport I would recommend for someone who has a foiling background, but if you don't, that's totally fine. It's just going to take a little bit more time because you're learning several things at once with the wind and also with learning the foil. But if you're up for a challenge, this is the one for you. And I will say, with it taking a little bit longer, the payoff at the end is pretty awesome. It's just some of those things where you put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and when it finally makes it happen, you are just absolutely stoked out of your mind. And it starts to delve into the new thing, parowing. Now, parowing is a bit of a combination of kite and wing, and it's something we'll be offering very soon. It is something that you will need to have a wing foiling background in before you dive into it, and we'll be making a separate video discussing the parowing as we start to dive into that service. Okay, finally we have subfoiling. This is by far the most challenging one we have to offer, and this one does come with a little bit of background knowledge needed to be able to get into it. For those who are looking to get into subfoiling, we definitely recommend that you have a solid background in one of the other foil sports, either prone foiling, kite foiling, wing foiling, because it is going to make it a lot more digestible. This one, since you're running off your own steam, you really need to make sure you have a good understanding of pumping the foil and very good foil control underneath you. The fun thing about this sport is it's a very adventure-driven sport. You are going from point A to point B with this one, and once you do get it, it's a pretty magical moment, but it is a long journey ahead. We recommend this for people who have a lot of time on their hands, who are looking to get into something new. What you can branch between is wing foiling in this one, especially the parowing, as I mentioned. We'll be making a separate video on that. But basically, this is the one that if you have the time on your hands, you have the background, it is really fun. It's blowing up like crazy right now, and it's something that you can dive into to really take advantage of all the fun parts of it. After all this, one thing I want to mention, and one kind of key takeaway that should help people kind of understand the challenge of these sports, is that what you'll notice is that as the power increases, the ease of access and ease of picking up the skill becomes a little bit easier. So for example, with e-foiling, you have a battery power where you have a lot of power at your own control, easiest one. But as you start to take power away and then you go to paddling a foil, much more difficult. The skills are much higher to get the board up and running. So you can kind of start to use that as a guide to start seeing which one is right for you. On the flip side of that, as you start to increase power, then the safety starts to become a little bit more of a thing, which some people do think about. So for example, with kiteboarding, you have a lot of power. You have a giant kite that's pulling pretty hard and takes up a pretty good amount of space. So it is very safe compared to when I got into the sport, way different back then, but it is something that, you know, people have in the back of their minds for the long term. So as you start to look at these things, think, how much power do I want versus how safe do I want to go about this? How much space do I have available to me in my home spots? Maybe you're riding somewhere else, not in our big, lovely beach area that we have with onshore wind. Maybe you're on a lake somewhere. Maybe you're in an area that has a little bit less access to smaller open areas, and you need to have these less powerful sports. But one thing you can always do too is call, ask questions. If you would like to find out more about the sports, you can reach out to us at offthekiteboarding.com. You can give me a call at 562-248-6996, and we're happy to help out with any questions you have. All right, everybody, thanks for watching the video. If you did like this, we really would like it if you did like and subscribe. I am going to be getting back into making videos again, and this is going to be the first one of many, so I'm excited to be back at it. Yeah, so just keep having fun out there. Let me know if you've tried any of these sports in the past, too. If you have, or maybe you're thinking about transitioning to another one, comment down below. All right, everybody, have a good one. Happy kiting. See you later.